The point where you said, fuck it. But that's a good place to be. You know, about 21 years ago, guess what I said? Yeah, right. What's your first name? Amber. And where are you from? What part? Central's a city now, girl. Huh? Bragg. What you using? Heroin and meth. Together? Why? Don't one get you up? And one gets you down? Why are you putting them together? To get you like right there? You know what else to get you right there? Nothing. You ever been to treatment? How many times? Okay. Where did you go the first time? All three? Okay. What was the first year you went to Abbeville the first time? What year was that? Okay. Second time.
17.
Last time.
18. No, 20.
All right. So you got some decent treatment. What's up?
Me.
Huh?
It's me.
Well, fuck, it's always been you. Why won't you do what they say?
I do for a while.
Well, wait a minute now. You ain't never been to Abbeville and they say, hey, girl, do this shit for a little while. Have you?
No.
So why won't you do what they say?
I get in self-will. Start doing what I want.
Look, I've been sober 21 years, and guess what I get into every day? Yeah. See, and every time I do, I got some steps to get me out of it.
I never really followed the steps.
Well, I know that. My question is, why not? You know, I get one or two things out of somebody that's been to treatment more than once. You know what those two things are? One is they must love treatment centers. That the case with you? So it's got to be the second one. You keep doing what you want to do. When you want to do it and how you want to do it. Don't care about nobody else except yourself. Now, can we make you stop doing what you want to do? Hell, fucking judges can't make you stop. You know who can make you stop? Yeah. And you got to get to a point where you say, I have enough. Not of the dope, but of you. Because if you stay the same, you'll have no choice but to put dope back in you. You want some help? Are you sure? Okay. What's your first name, young lady?
Whitney.
Whitney? Where are you from?
Slidell.
Okay. What you using?
Heroin and meth.
Together?
Together. Gotta do it together.
Why? I've never did heroin in my life. It's about the only thing I can say I've never done. But I got to tell you, if I'm gonna do a big old blast or something like cocaine or meth, I sure as fuck ain't gonna use no heroin behind it.
Okay. I don't know. Heroin's the go-to.
Okay. So did you hear what I asked her? If one gets you way up and one gets you way down, and just put you in the middle, yeah. And guess what else will put you right in the middle?
Nothing.
Nothing. Now, I'm not gonna ask you if you ever been to treatment, because I got a sneaking suspicion you have. How many times? That's
How
enough.
many I've completed?
No, I didn't ask you that. I just said how many times?
At least 8.
Okay. So why do you keep going to treatment? Do you go just to get people and shit off your back?
I did before.
Okay.
I used to, yeah.
Did you get them off your back?
For a little while.
So did you get them off of
No.
that? Okay. So name me some of the places you've been.
I've been to Woodlake Education.
Okay, keep going.
Baton Rouge Detox. That's the last time.
Yeah, that was like a fucking joke.
I had 2 years.
Huh?
That's
Charles Manson had like 47.
But, the Grove.
Let me ask you this. Every place you just mentioned to me, okay, they told you 3 specific things to do. They said go to meetings, right? Right? Get a sponsor, right? Do the steps. You've done none of them, except maybe go to meetings.
Continuously, yes.
Yeah. We both know you won't do no step work.
I did, but did I continue? No. Not at all.
Well, I don't think you ever did the first step.
Maybe I wouldn't be, I didn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be.
Yeah, that's right. Now, do you want some help? Do you?
Yeah.
Because look, I'm gonna tell you, there's one thing about this facility right here. If you want some help, guess what I'm gonna make sure you get? Yeah. You know why? You know why I make sure people get help? Because I've been where you at. And it ain't fun. Well, I don't really do it for you.
Well, that's part of it.
I do it for,
I
and
appreciate
if
you
you
doing it for
get
you.
help through that, well, so much to that.
Right.
What's your first name, young man?
Warren,
Warren, where are you from?
Baton Rouge,
Whereabouts? What part of Baton Rouge? Look, when I ask somebody where they're from, that's where you were born. Now, where you stay is a different thing. So you're from Baton Rouge? Okay, where'd you grow up? What part?
Glen Oaks.
Glen Oaks? That's where you went to school? Okay. So you're familiar with Bluegrass Park back there and stuff? Okay. Because I grew up right on the other side of Airline Highway. Yeah. What you been using?
Heroin,
Heroin? How?
smoking.
Not shooting it yet? Yeah, that's coming. You know why I say that? Because you've said before you'd never do heroin. You ever been to treatment? How many times?
One,
Where?
Abbeville.
Okay. Did you finish it? They tell you to go to meetings, get a sponsor, do the steps.
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
About to say, every sponsor I got with, I ain't even like.
Well, I'm sure the feeling was fucking mutual.
No way. They ain't like me either.
Yeah. Look, I gotta tell you, the first one I had, I couldn't stand, but I didn't get him because I liked him, or I got him because he had something I wanted. You ever been around somebody that had some dope and you didn't? And you didn't like them too much? But did you go, well, fuck, I'm not doing dope with you because I don't like you. You want some help? Do you? Okay. First name? Dakota?
Yeah.
Like a truck? Okay. How old are you? About 9?
24.
Huh?
24.
That's the same thing. 24 and 9 is the same thing. Where are you from? Where?
Yeah.
Okay, where you went to school? Okay. What you use? Just liquid?
Yeah.
Nothing else? Okay. This your first time in treatment?
Yeah.
Why are you here? There's no such of a thing in the state of Louisiana. They tell you, hey, huh?
I wanted to get out of jail.
Right, so, but they gave you a choice. Come to treatment or stay your ass in Yes, sir. And you chose. Now, what you in the legal system for?
30 WL.
At 24, you've had 3.
Yes.
What were you charged with a third offense?
Yes,
Okay, better do something. Yeah, because obviously you ain't a good drunk driver. How old were you when you got the first one? Okay, when you got the first one, did you swear you'd never get the second one? Or did you say, you know, fuck, I think I'm gonna go get me another one?
Probably.
You didn't say that. So when you got the second one, how old were you?
20.
Right?
22.
Now, I know then you swore up and down you'd never get. Right. So how old were you when you got the third? You know, you're right there on the cusp of whether you're gonna go do some serious time or whether you're gonna fly right. I can tell you I've had some real personal experience with third and fourth offense DWIs. They don't take too kindly to them anymore. What did they tell you?
Didn't tell me anything else.
Well, they said, we're gonna let you go to treatment,
They said I need to.
okay? You do what we say, what?
Tell me they just put my court date back.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, I've had a little experience, and I want you, if you listen to nothing else I say while you're here, I want you to listen to this. You have an opportunity right now to never have to go do a lot of time. But if you fuck up one more time, you're gonna do some time.
Mandatory.
Yeah, but I'm not really talking about that. Because if you don't do something, you're gonna get another one. And a fourth offense, be a long time. Do you want some help?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
What's your favorite drink? Yeah, but if I said, hey, look, go up to that table, I'm gonna let you pick one of your favorite things, and you can get as much as you can fucking hold. I knew you'd pick one. First name, Charles. Charles, where you from, Charles?
Empire.
Empire, okay. What you use?
Alcohol.
Just liquid?
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite?
Wow.
What kind?
Any kind.
Yeah.
Vodka,
But
absolutely.
if I told you same thing, you get one pick. Much as you can take, much as you can hold.
Absolutely.
Okay. Have you ever been to treatment?
No, sir.
First time.
Yes, sir.
Why are you here?
I'm court ordered, but I also want to help.
Okay. But there really is no such thing as court order.
Understand that?
You have a choice.
Yes, sir.
So what's the what you in jail for? DWI?
No, it was a battery charge, but I was drunk.
So you whooped up on somebody
Yes, sir.
or tried?
I guess
Who?
my father actually
Ain't that some crazy shit?
really fucked up.
I know. He pressed charges on you?
Yes, sir.
Good for him. Good for him. You know, I look at it completely different than you do. Thank God. I don't look at it like you got arrested. I look at it like you got rescued. You want some help?
Oh, hell yeah.
You got it. You know, when somebody wants some help, they really want some help. When we suggest something to them, you know what they say? Okay. Because anything we suggest to you has to be 1,000 times better than what you suggest to you. Do you agree? Okay. If you want some help, You couldn't have picked a better place to be. Y'all actually have hit it at the right time. What's your first name? Zach. And you were here before. I met you and your mother in the parking lot, didn't I? I thought so. And what were you using? Now? IV in it? And how many times have you been to treatment? The first one? Now, when you came in, how long did you stay? Before we had to shut it down? 2 weeks, okay. So, yeah, from jail? So when I saw y'all out there in the parking lot, you hadn't been to jail yet, had you?
Yeah, I just came out.
Okay, all right. And what were you in jail for? Of what? Are you sure?
Yeah, well, I've been on probation 3 years for that. I traffic ticket,
How much did they catch you with?
like 3 minutes.
What?
Gave me 5 years probation.
How many?
Like 3.
Man, I wouldn't fucking tell nobody that.
Exactly.
Well, they found him dressing me out in the gate.
What?
They gave me contraband to a facility and that dropped. He got dropped to the.
I really wouldn't tell nobody
I
that.
know,
Did you know you had them?
no.
Oh. I really wouldn't tell nobody that one. You know, look, if somebody asks me, well, what'd they catch you at? I'm gonna go fuck like, 1,000. I know. I know.
To be honest.
Yeah. Come on now. If you was honest, we wouldn't be talking. You want some help? Huh?
Yeah.
You know, when I saw you with your mom, it brought back a lot of memories. Yeah. Put my poor mother through living hell. What would you do? What would you do if he treated your mama the way you did?
I think he did. But now things are good.
Well, it would depend on who got the jump on who.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't stand for it. If somebody else treated your mama like you treat her, it'd be a big fucking ordeal, huh? Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
And you know what your mama wished? That it was him and not you.
Mm.
Just what I said. See, your mother wished it was him treating her like that instead of you.
Okay.
Because if it was him, she'd press charges on his ass. And get him as far away from her as she could, huh? She ain't gonna do that with you, huh? And you know that.
He called the cops on me, put me in jail, and get me crazy.
But it took a long time
Yeah.
for her to get to that point. She didn't want to. Did she? You ready to roll? First name?
James.
James? Where you from?
Albany.
Albany?
Yes.
Whereabouts? What side of the interstate?
Just Old Banner's Highway.
Okay. What you using?
Alcohol.
Just liquid?
Yes.
What?
Brown.
Okay. Have you ever been to treatment?
No.
Why are you here? What happened?
30 WI.
Third offense?
Yes.
Okay. So have you been to court on it?
Ain't even seen the judge.
Okay. So did they tell you to come or you just came? Okay.
I volunteered. They have been here.
Okay. You know, my dealings with the law, and I've been on both sides of it. And look, let's see, if the judge is here, it's better to be on that side. But what I've seen on both sides is somebody where you're at, they're ready to go either way, real quick and real fast. And what most judges will do is give you one more shot at going the right way. But they probably won't play with you too many more times. You know, you could probably go kill somebody and be better off than a third offense DWI right now. You want some help? Okay. How many of y'all have tried to put the shit down and not pick it back up? Have you tried? Have you? How many of y'all have tried to control it? Just gonna do two, just gonna use on weekend. How many of y'all have tried to enjoy it? If you've tried to control it, you've tried to enjoy it, what that proves is you ain't fucking normal. That's what that proves. Because guess what normal people never say? Gotta quit. Guess what they never try to control? They're usually, they do it just like that. Now, if you're sitting in here, guess what you have? A problem. That's what you got. Now, the problem that you got, it's a problem. You just don't know what the problem is. If I asked you, wake up. If I asked you, do you have a problem?
Yeah.
What would you say?
Yeah.
With
have
using, right?
Yeah.
If I said, what is it?
That's the problem.
Yeah, what's the problem?
I like it too much.
Huh?
I like it.
Okay, but that's not really the problem. Look, how many of y'all have a problem, but you ain't got a fucking clue what it is? Now, have you tried solutions to your little drinking problem?
Right.
Have you tried, look, quit altogether? Just do the fucking Nancy Reagan program, just say nothing. Did that work?
No.
Have you tried to control
Right.
it? Did that work?
Negative.
Have you tried to stay away from people who drink?
Right.
Did that work?
No.
Look, how many of y'all come up with a bunch of solutions to a problem you do not understand? Look, have you tried solutions? What's some you've tried?
To leave,
Huh?
to leave.
Just to leave? Okay. Did that work? Look, if you anything like me, alcoholic, I have tried buku solutions before I found out what was really going on. I tried buku solutions to a problem I really didn't understand. Now, if you don't understand the problem, the solution you come up with will be wrong. What kind of vehicle do you drive? Huh?
Used to have that two kids.
Okay. What color?
Maroon.
What year? 2-door, 4-door?
Four.
I tell you what, I come down the old Baton Rouge Highway and I see that motherfucker coming, I'm gonna get out of the way.
That'd be a good idea.
Let's just say you went out to your truck one day and you went to start it. And it went tick, 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 tick. What would you have? Huh? You'd have a problem, right? So if you got out, you diagnosed the problem. I got a bad battery. As soon as you understood that, what would fall in your lap?
Solution.
A solution. Go get a new.
Pattern.
So not only would this solution fall in your lap, but a plan of action would too.
But that might not be your problem.
Well, let's say it was. Let's just say it was. But as soon as you understood it, not only does the solution fall in your lap, but a plan of action. So if you had a bad battery, the solution would be what? To change it. And the plan of action would be go to fucking AutoZone and get a damn battery and put it in there. Now, let's say you went out there and you had a bad battery, right? But you changed the fucking windshield wipers. Could you go anywhere? Because you got a bad battery. Now, if you step back and you diagnose the problem, I got a bad, change the battery, could you go somewhere? And would the fucking windshield wipers work? Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, how many of y'all got bad batteries, but you keep changing the fucking windshield wipers? And you never go anywhere. Now, what we're gonna talk on this morning is a couple of things. We're gonna break down and really explain to you the problem when it comes to you using. Then we gonna give you a solution. And then we're gonna give you a plan of
Action.
that you can take that'll get your ass out the problem into the solution. Now, we can tell you this all day long, but if you ain't interested in it, it will do you absolutely
No good.
no fucking good. Now, how many of y'all, when they start talking about dope, if you sick as a motherfucker, your ass is gonna perk up? How many of y'all, if they start talking about drinking, you're gonna get real attentive? See, you gotta want this. So look, I can't keep you up in here, but you gotta wake up. Because look, everything you do from right now forward, your life is going to depend on it. So you can't really miss it. You gotta be awake and you gotta listen. You can't just hear me. You gotta listen. Now, I want you to really clear your head right now. And all I want you to do is listen. You don't have to write nothing down. I'm gonna make sure you get it. Okay? Now, step one is a problem statement. What they do in step one is explain the problem. Do you read okay?
Sir.
You just can't read them fucking signs that say don't drink and drive. I want you to read the first part of step one, so right here. Go, read it.
We admitted we were powerless over alcohol that our
No,
lives.
no, just to right here. Read it again.
We admitted we were powerless over alcohol.
Now, this is just yes or no. Are you powerless over alcohol?
At the moment, no, but yes, I was.
Okay, yes, I was, but at the moment, no. Okay, are you? Are you?
Over alcohol? No.
Yeah. Look, when I say alcohol, when we talk about alcohol, it means everything.
Oh, then yeah.
Look, do you know the oldest known drug on the face of the earth?
Alcohol.
Yeah, it's a drug. Are you powerless over drugs and alcohol?
Yes.
Are you?
Definitely.
Okay, why?
Well, because I'm trying to control it.
But why? See, look, how many of y'all say I'm powerless, but you have no fucking idea why?
Powerless because I allow it to bring me places here.
But that's not why you're powerless. Do you know why you're powerless? Look, in order for you to say, I am powerless or I'm not, you got to be armed with some facts. Once you arm with some facts, then you can say, I am or I'm not. But until you're armed with facts, you ain't got a fucking clue. Now, do you? How many treatments you been to? Okay, I want you to really look at me. I want you to really listen right now, okay? Now, there's two things going on. One part is in the body, that's physical, and one part is in the mind, that's the mental part. Now, when is the last time you used? Okay, when's the last time you used? You?
3 months ago.
You? Look, it takes about 72 hours, give or take, to get the physical craving off your ass. Now, if you hadn't used in 72 hours, There's no way you could be physically craving. What you would be doing is mentally obsessing about it. Yeah, when's the last time you used? In that jail, was this thing going, well, a fucking drink sure would be nice?
Yeah.
Huh? And if you could have got to a drink, would you have put one in?
Probably not. Any kind of head change in there.
Look, how many of y'all have ever said, yeah, I'm done. I'm fucking done. And you meant it. And you pick back up. When you pick up and you put the first one in, it's because of that. Now, every time you put the first one in, I want you to tell me, does your body set this off and does your body start to physically crave another one? What's your favorite thing? Using wise, what's your favorite thing?
No,
And how you do it?
snort it.
Okay, if you had 10 lines big as my middle finger, could you do a quarter of one today? Put the rest of them in the refrigerator and go about your business for a month.
No.
And come back and do another little quarter.
Mm-mm.
And do that every month until it was all gone. What would happen if you started the first little quarter? Would you set this physical part off? Would your body start this allergy off? And would the allergy produce a craving physically for some more? Now, once you put the first one in, do you go and go and go and go like the Energizer Bunny? Until you run out? Pass out?
No.
Get locked up and somebody stops you? I don't know about you, but if I'm awake and I'm conscious and I got some of that shit in front of me, I'm gonna stay on one of these right here. You? You? What about you? You? Now, when I finally get stopped down here, when I run out, pass out, get locked up, somebody stops me. When I come up for air, sober as a fucking sailor, I sing the Alcoholics National Anthem. I'll never do that again. And I mean it. So I start to try to live in my own body sober, which is fucking miserable. Would you agree? So I start a little build up emotionally. And up here, this thing starts coming at me. And it says, hey, you need some fucking relief. Which at that point, you probably do. And the obsession says, hey, I know how you can get some relief. And when you put the first one in, it's a wrap. Because now the body takes over. And the body now starts to tell the mind what to do, which is put,
Third, fourth, fifth.
and you end up right back on one of these. And when you come up for air, you go, how in the fuck did I ever get started again? And it's just a little. Right now, if you got up and left here right now, the judge said, hey, look, fuck, you fucking good. You don't have to go to treatment. Just come to your court date. You know what you will do eventually? Put. Because this is going to make sure you do. Now, the very first one you dump in, is it an act of the mind or the body? It's an act of the mind. Once you put the first one in, as soon as you do, guess what leaves your mind for the moment?
Obsession.
But now it becomes,
Physical.
the body takes over. And your body is physically craving more. And the more you dump in, the more your body actually
Crazy.
craves. And the more your body craves, the more you have to put in. Now, the very first one that you dump in, it sets off 1 unit of craving. And when that craving gets set off, that physical craving, you have to put the second one in. And when you dump the second one in, now the craving doubles, which makes you put the third one in. And when you dump the third one in, the craving now has
Triple.
which physically makes you put. And when you put the fourth one in, now the craving quadruples. So the more you use, the more your body actually craves. Now, what sets everything in motion?
The first one you put in.
Now, is the first one an act of the mind or the body?
Mind.
From here on is an act of
Body.
the body. If you never put,
The first one in.
your body will never crave a second, third, or fourth one. Now, I don't know about you. I drank and drugged for about 27 years. You count them up, that's a lot of years. And these two things rode the fuck out of me. When I would come up for air, I would say, I'm done. And this bitch would get me. Then I'd say, I'm just gonna do a couple, or this bitch would get me. It was like a double-edged sword. If this one didn't cut me for rhythm, this one would finish it off. How many of y'all keep starting, stopping, starting, stopping, starting, stopping? Now, why do you keep starting? And once you start, it's pretty much a wrap. That's going to be the end result. Now, these sprees that you keep ending up on, do they keep getting better, the same, or worse? The consequences, do they keep getting the same, better, or worse? How many of y'all end up in here and y'all got more fucking problems than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest? And the only way you can get over those problems is to put one back.
Mm.
And the end result is you keep creating more problems. Now, can you stay stopped? You can't. If you could, your fucking ass wouldn't be in here. You can't stay stopped because of, and once you start, you have no control over how much you're going to use because of the physical part. Now, if you can't stay stopped and you can't control how much you're going to use once you start, your ass is
College.
now, if you could stay stopped on your own, guess where you never would have ended up? Here. So would you say you have this?
Yes.
Now, every time you drink the first one, do you set that off?
Yes, sir.
Does it produce that?
Yep.
Is that the end result?
Yep.
So I would say you got this, right? So if you got this and this, you are. Now, since we work a spiritual program here, they call it, but what you really are,
Fucking stupid.
that's what you are. And, you know, I don't know about you, but when I saw just how fucked I was, I didn't laugh about it. I went, I'm fucked. Now, people like me who really understand this, who really get this part, You know what they want to know next? How do I get un? Yeah, that's what they want to know. How are you? Come on in, sit down. Now, if I told you, hey, I got something that will take this obsession out of your head, what would you say? Huh? You know what I said? I didn't say let's hear it. I said let's do it. Because see, with you, for a long time, you're going to be tied to the legal system. Do you agree? And they're going to make sure, one way or the other, you stay sober. Now, let's just say for shits and giggles that really nothing changes with you, but you come through treatment. Okay? And for the next 3 years, you're on probation. Every month, you got to go down there for them and pee. The chances of you successfully peeing for the next 3 years, I would bet my fucking house on it you couldn't do it. Because what's going to get you? Now, let's say you actually do something in here, right? And we can get this out your head. I would bet my house you could pass every pee test at any fucking time and place in the world. See, how many of y'all have a problem you don't understand? And you keep coming up with all these cockamamie solutions. Once you understand what's really going on, you will see why none of your solutions have ever worked. I can remember sitting in treatment 21 years ago. February 3rd is 21 years. I can remember sitting in that facility and they explained this to me and I went, fuck. That's me. Now, for 27 years, nobody had ever been able to tell me. I had a bunch of people, judges, probation officers, ex-wife, ex-employers, tell me what was going to happen to me. And I would tell them, fuck, I already know that. Tell me something I don't know. And none of them could. When I'm sitting in this facility and they tell me this, I went, these motherfuckers know what they talking about. So I know, no, it ain't too late as long as you're breathing. I said, if they know what's going on, if they can tell me, they gotta offer me a solution. They have to. Now, if you ain't here to solve this problem, you're in the wrong fucking place again. How many of y'all in here? This thing right here rides you. It tells you everything. It tells you what job to take, what relationship to get in, what car to buy, where to live, what the fucking, it tells you pretty much everything. Now you tell me that ain't a powerless fucker. Would you say you have this? Would you say you had that?
Oh, yeah.
Then you are.
Oh.
Now, when somebody's armed with some facts, and these are facts we're giving you, this obsession, this allergy, this ain't no fiction shit. Look, 2 drunks didn't come up with this over fucking cocktails. These are facts, medical facts. And you got to start operating on facts, not fiction. You've been operating on fiction long enough. How many of y'all live in like little fucking dream worlds? I'm going to. I think I will. And you look up one day and life pretty much just passed your fucking ass by. Now, what you got to figure out, I can't do it for you. You want some help? Do you want some help? That's That's the name of the game. If you do, I promise you, you have struck the mother lode. What's your first name?
Pam.
Pam, you look scared to death. Why?
I don't know, because I want it bad.
Well, wait a minute. Don't do that. Don't start all that. If you really want some help, you should be overjoyed where you're sitting, not
Okay.
scared. Have you been to treatment before?
Yeah,
How many times?
this will be my 4th time.
Okay. Where are some of the places you've been?
Red River and Honesty House.
Red River and what?
I know,
So it's sort of safe to say you fixing to get some real treatment.
right?
Would you say you have the obsession?
Yeah,
Would you say you had the allergy?
yeah,
Okay. You want some help with that?
yes.
Now, I want you to listen to this. 21 years, from the 3rd of next month, I have not put
First,
the first one in. Why do you think that is?
Suggestion?
Because I don't have
no obsession.
been removed. Now, am I still an alcoholic? You know why? Because I still have the allergy. Look, we can't do nothing about that. Once alcoholic, always alcoholic. Now, can we do something about that?
Yes.
Now, you gotta stay with me. Look, you gotta listen. What makes me powerless? Obsession coupled with renders me. So if I don't have the obsession anymore, I'm not powerless. Where we're gonna do all our work with you is in the mind, not the body. We can't do nothing about that. Now, can you live successfully with the allergy if you don't have that?
No.
Huh? Fuck, I have for 21 years.
Fuck out of here.
Now, if you have that and that, it'll
No.
cut you to ribbons on both fucking sides.
Yep.
Now, can we do anything about the physical part?
No.
No. Can we do something here?
Yes.
And if you do something here, you ain't gotta worry about that anymore. Now, do you wanna do something up here?
Yes.
That's the question. Do you? Because if you don't, you are. Yeah. You know the crazy part? For about 27 years, I walked around, fuck this Hogan's goat, and didn't even know it. That's the crazy part. And I would bebop around like everything was fine, and inside, I was dying. I mean, dying. And I wouldn't tell nobody. If somebody asked me, how you doing? I go, fine, I'm good. How you doing? And if they really could have took a look inside, they would have went, fucker. How many of y'all are like that? You won't say nothing. Now, when you're not using, how many of y'all, all y'all can think about is using? And when you come up for air after you fucked up everything, you say, I'll never use again. Now, can you quit? Can you? Can you? Can you? Well, let me ask you something. When did you get here? Did you use today?
No.
Then you have officially fucking quit. Now, is this still in your head?
Yeah.
And if you don't do something, I would bet everything I own, you will start again. Now, can you quit? Is that fact or fiction? That's a fact. Now, how many times in your using career have you quit?
I think,
Huh?
I mean, a lot of times it's about day.
Every night that you pass out, guess what you did?
Quit.
You fucking quit. So how many times have you quit? Thousands. Now, can you quit? Is that fact or fiction?
Better.
Now, every time you've ever quit, which has been thousands of times, what do you eventually do sooner or later? Start. So I would say you don't have a quitting problem. You have
Starting problem.
a starting problem. And this is why you keep starting. Now, we got two facts established. You can quit, and every time you do, you fucking start. Now, in between the quitting and starting, what changes? Not with the using, but with you. You know me to tell you what changes? Fucking absolutely nothing. Now, right now, are you quit? If something don't start changing, you've proven it, you're going to start. Now, if I asked each one of y'all why y'all are sitting in here, you would say, because I use drugs and alcohol too much. Now, don't get me wrong. Are drugs and alcohol a problem for you? Huh? They are. Are they the root of your troubles? They never have been. Now, y'all ready to get down to some causes and conditions? Huh? Are y'all sure? Are you real sure? Okay, let's do it. Y'all put y'all's books down. Close them up, put them down. Let's start getting down to some real brass tacks. You got, hurry up,
May I go take a quick?
hurry up. Don't get none on you.
Oh.
Do you have a family? What do you have? Tell me what you have.
My brother, sister,
Okay, no children? Okay. What do you have?
Sister, dad, mom,
Sister, dad, mom, grandparents still live?
grandparents, and
Okay, no kids. What do you have?
sister, grandma,
What are your parents?
mom, dad, I'll talk to my dad.
But he's still your dad. Or you talk. Look, there's a couple of things in life you can pick. You can pick your ass, you can pick your nose. You know what you can't pick? Family. Do you have any children? Okay, what do you have?
2 sisters, a brother, and grandparents.
And where are you in the pecking order with the siblings? You the oldest,
Baby.
middle, baby? Imagine that, Jim, huh? What do you have?
I have 3 kids,
Start with the oldest and go to the youngest.
10, 6, and 6.
Boys or girls?
2 older girls, 6 older boys, 2 older girls.
Okay, and where are they?
One with my mom,
Which is where?
5.
Okay, what else you got?
I'm the youngest,
Of what?
4. I'm 16 years later.
For what?
I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers.
You the baby. Imagine that. What do you have?
I have a 13-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter.
And where are they? Which is where? Okay, does he use? Yeah. All right. What else you got?
Mom.
Where is she? Home. Okay. Well, I'm not a fucking mathematician now. I can't figure out where everybody is. You're your family. What do you have?
4 daughters.
Start with the oldest and go to the youngest.
24.
22, 20, and 18.
Right, what else?
5 sisters,
And
2
where-
brothers
Where are you?
in the middle.
What do you have?
I have an older brother, a 25-year-old daughter, and a niece.
Okay. What do you have family wise?
I have, mother, father, 4 boys,
Start with the oldest boy and go to the youngest. Give me their ages.
21, 15, 14, and 8.
What else?
My brother,
You go.
that's about it.
Okay. So the family that you told me about, put that chair down. You don't need to damage no more brain cells. The family that you told me about, it's just yes or no. Do you love them? Do you?
Yes, sir.
It's yes or no.
Yes.
Now, you say yes out your mouth, right? What do your actions say? You do or you don't? No, yours. Your mouth says yes. What do your actions say? No. Do your actions say you love them or you don't? I know that's what your mouth says. What do your actions say?
You don't.
Okay. Now, you from where? In Albany. When somebody says one thing out their mouth and they turn around and do the complete opposite, what y'all call that in Albany? You know what we call it in our Baton Rouge? Full of shit. What's your mouth say? What's your mouth say? Your actions? What's your mouth say?
I love them, but obviously, no, I don't love
Your actions say you
them.
don't.
Right,
Your mouth says.
I love them.
So you're a walking, talking contradiction of your own self. When you are around somebody who's full of shit, do you want to be around them 24/7?
Hell,
You want to get as far fucking away from them as you can.
yes, indeed.
Now, have you been talking about people who really care about you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Have you been running them off or attracting them?
Gotta like rules.
Yeah. You know why? Why?
I'm a fucker.
Because you full of, well, you're not a fuck up because God don't make fuck ups.
I'm full of shit.
That's right. What's your mouth say? Your actions? Now, you told me you had a sister. Older or younger? How much older? Did she count on you? How do you think that makes her feel? You love her, right? That's what you say out your mouth, huh? I'd hate to see if you hated her, what you would do to her since you love her so much. What's your mouth say?
Yes.
My actions?
Nope.
What's your mouth say? The actions? What would you do to her if she made your kids feel like you make them feel? What would you do to her?
I couldn't even imagine.
Well, just fucking imagine.
Wouldn't do nothing good.
But what would you do?
How we hurt her?
You'd try. Because if she did it, you could see it. And if you saw it, you wouldn't stand for it. Now, when you do it, you justify, you rationalize, and you make yourself believe some errant nonsense. And I'm telling you, what your kids wish is as it was her and not you. What's your mouth say? Your actions? You know, I watch you in some of the things that we say in here, that are actually quite sad, you laugh about. And
I'm laughing at how you say it, I'm not laughing at what you say.
well, a lot of people like you, they laugh at stuff because it keeps them Right.
Have a point.
I know that's why I said it. Now, until you let that facade down, it's largely theoretical that anything's changing with. What's your mouth say?
Yes,
Your actions?
no,
What's your mouth say?
I would kill somebody who treated my daughter the way I treat my daughter.
So your mouth says you love her,
Hmm.
and your actions prove you don't.
Right.
Now, how many of y'all's family members, they keep looking at you going, are you fucking really gonna tell us this shit, that you love us? Are you really gonna do that again? And when they don't buy into your bullshit, how many of y'all get mad as hell? You a true believer in God?
Yeah.
You?
yeah,
You? 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 That's what you say out your mouth. What do your actions say? Oh, really? Now, look, I'm a little slow, as you can tell. Now, you know alcohol, you do know it's a spirit, right? Did you know that?
Yes.
Now, you're either gonna rely on the real spirit or a spirit in a bottle, a pill, or a pipe. Now, what spirit have you been relying on? Huh? The one in the bottle? Yeah. Now, I'm a little slow, as you can tell, but tell me how that's a true believer in God. See, you think you're something that you really not. And deep down, you know you're not. And the more people figure out the real you, the more you try to convince them that's not you. What's your mouth say? No, I say a true believer in God. There's a big difference. Well, that's what you say out your mouth. Do you know what a true believer is? Or your prayers have been answered. I want you to listen to me. A true believer in God does not believe in God. Did you know that? They know. They know what God can do for them. They get their ass out the way and they let God direct them. Now, do you do that? I didn't ask you that. I said, do you do that? Okay. Look, it don't make you a bad person.
I have before though, I'm tired of it, God, please do something.
And
2
did
days
it?
later, I put me in jail.
And
I
did
went to jail and been off the field 2 years.
Yeah. But you got back on what?
Didn't
Okay.
Mhm.
See, look, my point is that,
I mean, I know it.
what, I think there's a lot of doubt there, because if you knew, if you really knew, you know where you wouldn't be sitting right now? Yeah. See, if you're in here as a patient, it tells me a couple of things about you. And the most glaring thing it tells me about you, you're 100% bona fide, full of shit. That's what it tells me. Now, do I believe you believe your own bullshit? I do. But it doesn't make it true. If I told you, I say, hey, bro, I've never been in a helicopter in my life. I've never taken a class, but I believe I can fly that fucking helicopter. You won't go for a ride? What would you say? Yeah, but I believe I can fly it. Okay. Now, do you know how you can tell if you're full of shit or you're not? There's a way you can tell.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
How can you tell?
I look at somebody in the eye. and they
No,
tell me through.
fuck no. I can look you in the eye my best days and fucking lie through my teeth. The way you can tell if you're full of shit or not is called results. See, if what's coming out your mouth is a bunch of lies and a bunch of bullshit, you will take actions based on a bunch of lies and a bunch of bullshit, and the results will be disastrous. Now, if what's coming out your mouth is actually the truth, you'll take actions based on the truth, and the results will blow your doors off. So what you got to figure out is what kind of results are you getting in your life? Disastrous? You know why? Because you're full of shit. But you blame it on what? Well, I don't think you do. I think you think it's the drugs. See, people like me and you who deep down know we're full of shit, we know it. We gotta have something to put in us to change the way we feel. What's your mouth say? You a true believer in God?
Yes.
Your actions? Now your mouth said no, right? So what I would tell you is you might want to think about changing some of those beliefs that you have. Because obviously the ones you have ain't working too good. Would you agree? Huh?
I suppose.
Well, when somebody agrees, it's not I suppose, it's, yeah, I fucking agree with that.
Believe one way or another.
Huh?
I really believe one way or another.
Wait, say that again?
I don't really believe one way or another.
I know. Now, I guess my question to you then would be, how well is that working for you? So, let me ask you something. When you get ready to do something wrong, which is quite often, huh? And you know it's wrong, do you hear a little voice say, hey man, you better not do that? Okay. Now, if it's something that you really want to do you block that voice out and do what you want to do? And when you do what you want to do, knowing it's wrong, do you usually face consequences? And when the consequences start hitting, does that voice come back a little louder a second time and say, I told you not to do that? What'd you call that? Most people do. I'll prove to you it's not your conscience. I'll prove it to you. When you hear that first voice say, hey man, don't do that. Has it always been right? Get on the money. No, it's been right all the time. And there's only one entity in this universe that's always right 100% of the time. And it sure as fuck ain't your conscience. It's the fundamental idea of God. Now you can call it whatever you want. Now that little voice that tells you right from wrong, how long you been hearing that? Come on, all your life. You know why? You was born with that. You were born with the fundamental idea of God deep down within you. You know right from wrong? I know you do. What's your mouth say? You a true believer in God or you not?
Says that I am.
And your actions?
Inconsistent.
What's your mouth say? Your actions? What's your mouth say? Your actions? What's your mouth say?
Says I do, but I take it back all the time.
So your actions prove you know. Look, how many of y'all listening to somebody else and you go, I'm a piece of shit. You ain't a piece of shit. You know why you ain't a piece of shit? Do you know why you're not?
Is God made me?
Yeah, God don't make pieces of shit. Now, are you sick as fuck? You are. And it's a good thing you're sick and not bad. Because if you were bad, we couldn't help you. But being that you're sick, we can help you. Now, do you want some help? Y'all turn y'all's books real quick to page 62. We're going to go about 20 more minutes. Y'all stay with me and I'm going to let y'all go smoke about 20 cigarettes. Hurry up. Hurry up. It'll be all right down there. That's where you're going to leave it anyway. Do you read okay? Huh? I want you to start reading for me. Now listen to me. Listen to me. When you read, I want you to read it loud. Like when you was hollering for dope. Woo! I want you to read it clear. I don't want you to change any words. Read it exactly like it said. Okay? I want everybody following along. Page 62, the first paragraph down. Go. No, the first paragraph down on 62. Selfishness, self-centered.
Oh, the first, okay.
Yeah, the first paragraph down.
Well, I was looking down.
I know. Go.
Selfishness, self-centeredness. That we think is the root of our trouble.
Stop. Now, what did it say was the root of your trouble? Read it.
Selfishness, self-centeredness.
Yeah, not done. Now, every time you get jammed up by the legal system, by the kids, by work, by family, every time you get jammed up, the first thing you say is, I gotta quit using. Because that's what you think it is. And what do you keep doing? Huh? Fucking use it. Look, how many of y'all, when y'all get jammed up by the legal system, by family, by work, every time you get jammed up, you say, I gotta quit using. That's what you think it is. And what do you keep doing? Use it. I'm telling you, you ain't sitting in here because you use. That ain't why you sitting in here. You're sitting in here because you were selfish, self-centered, self-seeking, inconsiderate, dishonest person. That's why you sitting in here. And if that don't change, you will drink again. Now, earlier I asked y'all, can y'all quit? And y'all all said, no. You said yes. And I said, is that fact or fiction? And you said, fact. And I asked you, every time you quit, what do you eventually do? And you said, start. Now, in between you quitting and starting, what changes with you? Nothing. Now, right now, are you quitting? If some shit don't start changing, you've proven it over and over, you're going to start again. Now, for the last 21 years, I don't tell people I've been quit for that long. I tell them I hadn't found it necessary to start. Because in those 21 years, every day, I'm changing a little bit. And what I really focus on is not being a selfish, self-centered, self-seeking, inconsiderate, dishonest fucker. And guess what I hadn't found it necessary to do? Start. If you keep focusing on the using part, I'm telling you, you're going to use again. If you start focusing on what really is the root of your trouble, and it's not drinking and it's not drugging, if you would start focusing on that and start working on that, you know what you would never ever do? Start again. And when can you start focusing on that shit? Right fucking now. And if you don't do it right now, it's too late. You've missed the boat again. You want some help? Okay. In here with some sick ass people like yourself is when you start helping people. If you say I'm going to do it when I get out of here, it's too late. You'll never do it. Keep reading where it says driven by.
Driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, and self-pity, we step on the toes of our fellows and they retaliate.
Now, it says that you're driven, and boy, are you driven by 100 forms of fear. It didn't say 100 fears. It said 100 forms of fear. How many of y'all in this room right now fear people are going to figure you out for the fake ass person that you really are? Now, when somebody's driven by fear, what they do next is a bunch of self-deluded nonsense. They will do shit they know is 100% wrong, but they will make yourself believe the shit they just did is okay. Now, when you're driven by fear and self-delusion, how many of y'all don't care about nobody but your damn self? You're a self-seeking person. You say out your mouth, I love my family. But your actions prove you don't care about nobody but your damn self. Now, I want you to read what she just read, where it said, driven by. I want you to read it.
Driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion,
Stop. Now, when you're driven by fear, self-delusion, and self-seeking, do you fuck up some shit?
Yep.
And when you do, read the next one.
Self-pity.
How many of y'all, when y'all fuck up shit, the self-pity starts kicking in? Your bottom lip pokes out like everybody in Livingston can ride home on it. Now, what's that book say you do then? Read it.
Step on the toes of our fellows.
Now, how many of y'all have been stepping on people's toes left and right? And the toes of the people you step on are the ones you say out your mouth, I love so much. Now, why do you step on their toes? Because you drink and drug, or because you're a selfish, self-centered, self-seeking, inconsiderate, dishonest person? Which one you think it is?
Self-centered,
Yeah.
dishonest.
Not the drinking, huh? Yeah, well, you keep thinking that, see what the fuck happens. Look, how many of y'all come in here and y'all convinced is to use it? Because look, if it's to use it, fucking let you off the hook, don't it? How many of y'all say this shit? You know, I'm a pretty good old chap if I ain't drinking. In your fucking mind, I don't know about you, but when I wasn't using, you better fucking really watch out then. You think people don't want to be around you when you're using? Stay the same and get sober.
What is that saying? What's the difference, like about the horse thief? What's the difference?
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, look, how many of y'all in here, every time you get jammed up, the only thing you focus on is the using part. You try to quit altogether, which fails and fails miserably. You try not to get caught, which fails even fucking worse. You try to use less. You try to use more. You try to use different shit. But the only thing you ever focus on is the using part. And what do you keep doing?
Using.
Fucking using. You know why? Because using ain't the root of your trouble. Never has been. You are. And you don't want to look at you, do you? That's why you have to drink so much. Look, how many of y'all people have been telling you for a long time what I just told you? I'm not the first one that's told you you a selfish, dishonest person, am I?
No.
Am I? Am I? I want y'all to close y'all's book. We're gonna close with this. I want you to listen to this. Tell me your first name again.
Dakota.
Dakota. How could I fucking forget that? Let's say me and Dakota were standing up here and we were talking to 4 or 5 good-looking girls. And I said, Dakota, you got a booger in your nose. And he went, no, I don't. Nah, bro, you got a big old fucking booger hanging out your nose. And he says, no, I don't. And I went, okay. And he goes to the bathroom and takes him a piss. And he goes up to the laboratory, he's washing his hands, and he looks up in the mirror and he sees a booger. What would you do?
No.
Right in and right there, huh? Didn't believe me though, huh? But once you saw what I was trying to tell you, you did something about it, huh? Now, when you came back in and started talking to us, would you feel like a blithering idiot? And as soon as a little wind brushed by your nose, would you go, make sure you got it all? But you didn't believe me, huh? How long have people been telling y'all? Y'all got boogers in y'all's nose. And y'all keep telling them, no, I don't. No, I don't. And they go, no, you do. If you ever see what people have been telling you, you're going to go. And then you're going to do something about it. When I saw what people have been trying to tell me for about 27 years, I went, motherfucker, how could I have been so blind? I'm telling you, recovery, living in recovery, these steps every day, it's fun. It's fucking fun as shit. You ought to try it. You want some help? You?
Yes, sir.
You? Do you? 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 I would think we've been doing that this morning. What would you think? Because I guarantee you some of y'all are going, fuck, I never looked at it like that.
I learned more this morning than I did in a whole month at Red River.
That's why I come here. Listen, y'all are the first ones we getting this going with now. So we're gonna count on y'all a lot. We're gonna count on y'all a lot,
Y'all fuck up then.
okay? And what we're gonna count on y'all for is when some new ones come in, y'all show them what to do. Right? Right? Because they already know, like you do, what not to do. Comments? Questions? Y'all get ready for lunch. Y'all put y'all's mask on, keep them on. Oh, the wonderful session.